Welcome back to another video, another episode of this citizenship journey series. It's a very good feeling, it's a very good day. I am going to be giving you a rundown of what you need in order to apply for citizenship. So after the intro, we get right into it. So as I've said in all my videos, this is solely my experience. I am not affiliated with Citizenship Canada. I'm not a lawyer, anything like that. It's just me sharing my experience and what I've gone through with the hopes that it may help at least one person who will be going through this process themselves. So if you didn't see before, I did like a whole 4 or 5 videos on permanent residency, how to reach up to the permanent resident status. I'm going to be having this as a playlist, citizenship playlist, so you can check that out. And in the future, I'm going to be doing videos on like visiting visa and stuff like that, right? Any questions you have, you can just leave them in the comment section. So I already went through this process, but I wanted to make a recording just so you have an idea of what to expect when you're applying for citizenship, right? I didn't get the chance to record it at the time because I was just so busy. I wanted to get everything done. But here goes a list of the things that you need in order to apply for citizenship. So I have here the checklist, all of which can be found on the citizenship website, right? I'll leave a link down below to the website as well. So before you even think about applying for citizenship, make sure that you're keeping out of trouble. That's a major factor. Keep out of trouble. And of course, you have to be a permanent resident first, right? How long after being a permanent resident can I apply for citizenship? I explained that in details in videos before, but I'm just going to give you a quick recap. So you need to be in the country for at least 1,095 days, which equivalents to 3 years, right? And bear in mind that if you travel outside of the country during that 1,095 days, that they will deduct however much days that you weren't in the country. So if you have to travel less during that time because you want to speed up a process, especially know that it's like the corona virus out and things are online, it gets a bit slower, right? So you want to get that out the way. Make sure once you become a permanent resident, so I'm assuming you're watching this right now because you're already a permanent resident and you want to know what to do in order to apply for citizenship. So first, have a clean police record, and second, you have to be eligible for the 3 years, which is 1,095 days if I'm being correct. I'll leave it here if I'm not, right? So we're going to go through the checklist now of things that you need. So on the checklist, you need an application form, which can be found, as I said, on the Canada Citizenship website, right? And I'll try to leave a link to the website and you can find those stuff there. So you get that application. I would suggest that you print at least 2 copies of each page just so you can fill them out. And once you get them filled out now, the first one filled out if there's any error, because you cannot afford, when you're doing these tedious things, when you're doing these sensitive things, you have to ensure that there's no error. You cannot have an error in your name. If you have one misspelled letter in your name, they can deny your application. So you want to make sure as I said, print at least 2 copies of each. My shoes is falling off. Print at least 2 copies of each page for the application. Fill out one first rough and go over it and make sure that okay, all my information is correct. So the second thing you need is the online physical calculator, and it goes back to what I was saying, and that is to tell you, so you go online you punch in how long you've been a permanent resident, the day that they gave you that certificate, and the day that you want to apply. So you punch all the information in and the calculator will tell you if you're eligible. But as I said, if you've been in Canada for the past 3 years and you haven't gone on any vacation, then chances are, once you got a PR, chances are you're eligible for citizenship, right? But you can still go through the calculator and put in the days that you were here, you were absent. You put all the dates that you were in Canada, how many days you went on a vacation, if any, and that will calculate to let you know if you're eligible. So that's the second thing you need, right? The third thing you need is a color photograph of all pages in your passport. So you need to ensure that your passport is at least 2 years before the expiration date, because this process can take a while and you don't want to have an expired passport doing all of this. So ensure before you even start applying for citizenship, the passport that you own from whichever country you're from is a valid passport and it's not expiring anytime soon. So that's very vital. And you need colored, not black and white, colored pages from that passport. Okay, right. So the next thing on the list now, you need a photocopy of proof that you know English. What I used was my high school diploma, and on that it outlined the subject areas that I completed, and English was a part. So in Canada there's two official languages of Canada, English and French. So they want to get a photocopy of proof that you know how to speak English or French. So that can be like an exam result. Like in the Caribbean we have C6, so that can be a C6 result. Or if you have a college degree that shows that you were an English major or something of the sort, you need a copy of that as proof, right? So now if you're below the age of 18 or above the age of 54, you do not need to show proof of this English or French knowledge, right? Because you won't be asked to sit a test. People who are under 18, they're not required to sit a test, and if you're over 54, you're not required to sit a test. But in between 18 to 53, you're required to sit that test, right? So you need proof of your English or your French literacy. So the next thing on the list, you need a photocopy of two ID, personal ID. That can be a driver's license, but has to have your photo on it. That can be a health card or your voter's ID. You know what I said? So you need copies of that. Next up on the list, you need two identical citizenship photo, right? So you can take these at either Shoppers Drug Mart or an approved place that works with the requirements of Canadian citizenship photos. So you need two copies of those. Ensure that you get them stamped wherever you go and take those photos. Don't use your phone and try to take pictures of yourself and try to crop it to the size. No, go to a professional, get it done, because as I said, one mistake can just throw the entire application out. So get two copies of your passport, of your citizenship photo, and when you get the checklist, it will give you an indication as to what the size should be, and you just give that to the photographer and they will deal with it from there. As I said, Shoppers Drug Mart does this, and they already have all of the requirements for the citizenship photos. So you can go to your Shoppers Drug Mart and get that done. So once you get the citizenship photos from Shoppers Drug Mart that's approved by Canada, the requirements, now you're required to have a copy of the fees that you pay. And for the fee, you're going to be paying right now at the time of this recording, $630 is the application fee. 630 Canadian dollars. So you pay the application fee online, and you're going to include a copy of your receipt with your application, as well as your photos, copy of your passport, etc., etc. So before you submit the application, you have to show that you paid for the fee online and then get a copy. Normally you can get a printed copy as well as a copy in an email. I'd suggest get both, just in case you lose a printed copy. You can always go back to your email and print that one out. Pay for your application, you have your receipt, but let's say in a scenario where you have a lawyer doing stuff for you or a family member filling out this information, you're going to need additional information to add to your application, and I'm going to just read this out to you as it is right here. So this says, submit the following if any of the following applies to you: use of a representative form, which is a IMM 5476 form, which can be found on the website. You complete this form only if you use the service of a representative. That can be a lawyer, as I said, or a family member or a friend, right? Then the second thing on that segment of the checklist, you need an original police certificate or clearance. That is if you must provide a police certificate for each country or territory where you have been present for 183 days or more in a row. This is so small, and I should use my glasses for this, So you must provide a police certificate for each country or territory. I need my glasses, man. Hold on. Get bad, Alisa. So, original police certificate or clearance. You must provide a police certificate for each country or territory where you have been present for 183 days or more in a row since the age of 18 for the 4 years immediately before the date of your application. So, after you become a permanent resident, if you came out of the country, because remember, you have to provide a police record before you become a permanent resident, right? As well as a medical form. But after permanent residency, if you've been outside of the country for 183 days, which can amount to about 4.5 or 4 months thereabout, you need to provide another police record, because who knows if you've been outside of the country for that long, 6 months or 4 months, if you've been in any crime or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So you need an application for that. You need a new police record for that, right? So now, photocopy of legal name change document. So let's say you get married and you change your name, you need to add that to the application. But if you didn't change your name or anything like that, then you don't need that segment of it. So there's a photocopy of legal name change document. Consult the Apex name change for specific and up-to-date information on how to obtain police certificate from any country or territory, right? And then now, moving on down the list with the final 4 things on the checklist. Request to correct date of birth for citizenship. If you need that is. Request for a change of sex or gender if you need that. Residence outside of Canada form, but you're inside of Canada when you're applying for this, right? Translation, if any of the documents you are submitting are not in English or French. So if any of the documents you're submitting are not in English or French, you need to have a translation version of that, because they only accept English or French, right? And that is pretty much it for the checklist. So just to give you a rundown of my experience with it and the timeline that it took me. So I got all of this pretty much ready. Once I was supposed to apply in 2019. That's when I was eligible, right? But Corona hit and then everything just slowed down. So I couldn't even put an application through because they were not accepting at the time. So 2021 now, May, my application was submitted. So I got everything in about a week. Give and take that I wasn't doing this every day because I was doing other stuff. So I got all of this on the checklist ready within a week. Fill out the application, double check, triple check to make sure all my information were correct. Pay the fee, attached. So once I had all my checklists, I took a week. You can take at least 2 days or less to do this, right? You can just dedicate 2 days to do this. But because, as I said, I've been doing other stuff throughout my week, so it took me a week to get everything together. Go out and take the photos, fill out the application, and you don't want to rush this. So a week should be ideal for you to fill out the application, double check, triple check to make sure there's no error in there, right? Because as I said, if you put one misspelled letter in the name, that can just throw everything out. We're running with the assumption now everything is all good. You filled out your application, you double check, you triple check, you dot all the I's, cross all the T's, you got your copied passport pages, you got your proof of English, you got all of the photographs taken, you paid the fee. Now you're gonna enclose that in an envelope and visit your closest post office. That can be Canada Post. I did Express, so what I did was the envelope that I got had all of the tracking numbers, so I know whenever time Canada would receive it. So once you put that in there, they go by weight, so the application doesn't weigh more than probably half a pound with all those pages, or even less, a few ounces to be honest, right? And it cost me around $10, or was it free? I don't even remember exactly, because I said I didn't record the exact day, but it should have cost me more than $10 to $20 to buy the envelope and to get a sticker on it and stuff, right? I did the Express, right? So you send that off, and once I sent my application off, I got an email about, because I sent it off in May 2021, saying about a month later that we have received your package. And that was it. I didn't hear back from them. Don't panic. Once you receive your package, now you sit back and wait. If they don't contact you within the next 6 months, that means all the I's were dotted and all the T's were crossed, right? So remember now, follow me. I sent off my application the end of May to probably around the first day or two of June, and I received an email in November of 2021. So it took about 6 months when I received an email, and that's the time frame in which, or the process I took to apply for my citizenship. If you are someone watching this who've been through this entire process already and I missed something, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Each one, teach one, and we want to just help each other, because trust me, this information we had to go digging for them. They don't have videos like this out there that were explaining, even though you still have to go through the process yourself, but sometimes it's good when you get a debriefing so you have an idea of what to expect. So that's why these videos are available. Videos before that I did similar to this, everybody appreciated them because they said, listen, I'm ready to apply, but the knowledge that you're giving is just spot on and it's helping me so much to get me prepared. So that's why I make these videos, and just to share my experience. I like to share my experience because growing up I didn't have anybody really to say, okay, you do this and do that, and I always wanted information is vital for growth. So if I can provide you some information, I will. Mommy always say it's better to have it and don't want it than to want it and you don't have it. So here you have it. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like. Subscribe to just keep up to date with my journey before, after, and before, during, and after citizenship. You know what I say? I love to travel, and the family will be traveling the world. So if that's something you're interested in, if you love the whole family life, the family dynamic, subscribe to the Morris Time family, because we do that here. And as I always say, the journey continues, and I wish you all the best in your process and your application. Stay tuned for the next videos. You can click the link at the end of this video to check out what I did after they contacted me in 6 months, how I prepared for the test and stuff like that, and do the oath when I go do my application and all of that. My passport, when I apply for a passport, all that good stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, man, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification, leave a comment down below if I missed something that can help somebody in the comment section. And as I said, disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not affiliated with citizenship and Canada. I'm just merely giving my personal experience. You know what I say? So yes, once again, enough love for the love. Thank you very much for stopping by, and all the best in your endeavors. Until next time, safe travel upon the gravel, and go and big up on yourself.